Hello, welcome to a very special episode of the Force Commander's Guide to Purging Nurgle. I'm Jade Star, joined as always by my favorite friend Olish, who just recently had to tell his spouse about the existence of refrigerators.
In RimWorld.
Look, it's funnier without context.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, speaking of things that are funny without context, I sent a clip from the JRPG Power Hour to Jenner out of context. It was about the bandit guy who was like, Master, I'm so glad to have received your fist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah. We are not going to make it to the next mission in time, but there's now at least an opportunity to continue upgrading the Baleful Edict. Let's see, I think we're going to go for engines. I kind of want to get barracks. I always want meditation chambers because the EXP gain is great. And then the Apothecarion. It's so weirdly backwards. The first thing is the stasis for dead guys, then it's the critical injuries facility, and then it's the recovery rate. I definitely need to get that recovery rate going, though.
They clearly want you to be on board with the idea of acceptable losses.
Yeah.
And they reward you for it as long as you've got the stasis chamber.
Or the augmentation chamber.
Or
the cybernetics critical injury recovery table.
Yeah.
I'm sort of out of things to research.
Oh no, how can you afford any of this research now that you've given up half of your seeds?
Maybe we could have thrown more seeds at it to research faster.
I went and I looked up the event. It is not worth it.
Not worth
you get
all
twice the duration.
Okay. Hey, I think we can get 2 this time around. Could certainly get that one, and then probably that one.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Hey, do you see what I see?
Oh.
New kinds of chaos.
Oh, the Blight Hauler. Yeah, I remember those things being kind of obnoxious.
Yeah. They can be. They're sort of like the first high armor enemy.
Inquisitor, my apothecaries have reviewed your Auspex readings in detail. The trends you've identified do appear somewhat disturbing. You have done well to provide me with hard evidence. I will send you further support to combat this evil. Be aware, the Grey Knights are engaged in 89 active operations throughout the Imperium, so I must distribute our resources carefully. Commander, you are Ektar's chosen, and he has no doubt provided you with wise counsel. What is it you need most from the chapter?
I feel like the answer to this is going to be more weapons and armor.
Yes, of course. I don't necessarily want knights that have random skill distributions. Servitors and grimoires come across as it is, so really I feel like this is the only answer.
I have witnessed Inquisitors of significantly higher station melt underneath that gaze. I expect he is testing you.
The only thing being tested is my patience.
He did acknowledge the gravity of your report. That is a victory we had previously been denied.
Yeah, I think she'd be a little happy about that one. And thanks to the +2, I could upgrade everything.
I was going to say, it looked kind of disappointing that you only had 9 requisition.
Yeah. I mean, I only need 8. To get the categories I want. I forgot that the Officio Assassinorium gets much more expensive every level. But I guess that's just because gear distributes out of it differently than the random rewards.
Yeah, you're not getting random rewards out of it. You just pick and buy stuff.
Yeah. So I really only need 8 every time Grandmaster Kai calls. But I would like to upgrade the Assassin kit eventually.
Oh, what a free glorious deed.
Yeah.
And it's even worth 1 more. Because you junked half your seats when he asked.
Oh, excuse me. Apparently just started inhaling dust as soon as we started recording.
Nothing terribly special here, just a
No.
standard loadout, one of everybody.
Yep. And now let's ruin that and go make a mistake.
I mean, Vanos.
Yes. I mean, it's not really a mistake. But I am getting to the point where I need to stop stalling and go to the craft world.
Yeah,
And
this has reminded me of having gatekeepers and random missions far before I went to the gatekeeper mission.
in XCOM, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not quite to that point yet. Like, the Apothecary Network, not Apothecary, Astrologian Prognosticar Network picked up like 2 new Chaos types. So we're definitely getting to the point where the game's like, alright, have some new dudes. You've been out here a while. But I don't think we're getting quite to the point where the game's going to get upset. But I do want to go to the craft world soon. And one of the things I want to do at the craft world is bring the Vindicator, because I'm going to need his abilities. So I don't want to get him injured, in the intervening time.
So of course you're bringing him on a mission right now.
Yes.
Where he can get injured.
Yes.
I think I understand where the mistake was. That boy's gonna get shot.
Actually, I don't think he gets shot.
Or exploded.
Maybe. I don't think it was
Or
really...
meleeed.
No. No, it's something entirely new, I think.
Identified. However, thermal readings register below safety protocols.
We are no wolves of Fenris, but such factors will not deter us. Elimination of these seeds is paramount.
I mean, there's snow. It can't be that cold.
Could it be too cold to snow?
Yeah.
Oh. But also, these guys are in, like, sealed power armor. Like, would they even feel the outside temperature?
I mean, they wouldn't. The real question is whether or not the power armor would function when it's that cold.
Ah.
A friend of mine has a diesel pickup truck, and he has to warm the engine block before starting it when it gets too cold, because he's in northern
Right.
Michigan.
Yeah. So, here's a mistake. And a new enemy, I think. I triple moved that movement, because I was like, oh, it's the start, there's nothing here. No, these guys were there, and triple moving was a bit too far. So, I think Plague Bearers are new, or maybe we saw them once or twice.
I think you've seen them once or twice, like, coming through the gate, but yeah, they're
Yeah.
effectively new. They're reasonably chunky. They mutate all the time.
Yep. Also, they're quite dangerous in melee. They actually can parry, and they have 2 separate melee attacks, once with the sword and once with their claw. So, if they have the AP to only have to spend 1 AP moving, they can then spend 1 AP swording and then 1 AP with a claw. So they can be quite dangerous.
Outside of the reactions that the heavy stubbers can do, I think this is the highest damaging single enemy so far.
Which is like 5.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I think
yeah.
the heavy stubber reactions can do more than that. But you
6.
have to, intentionally trigger it.
Yeah, you have to just walk out of suppression. Or, actually, you can trigger it by having somebody else walk past it. It looks like it's mostly just... No, it's like 3 melees, 3 cultists,
Precision target
and this
locked
guy.
in.
So, we can disarm him, or we can behead him, as it turns out. I think we've spoken about Craze. It's only a 50% chance to attack allies on their turn, but I thought it would be fun to show it off and see if it worked, and also just, it's funny and new.
And he's far enough away that,
Yeah, even if it fails, whatever.
yeah,
If he was
He
closer to me,
might-
yeah, absolutely
he
shoot
might
his
be
arm.
able to reach one of your guys, but no, actually, he shouldn't be close enough for that.
No, he's definitely out of
Time
range.
to reload.
He could get adjacent to them, but because the AI doesn't get the move 5 and melee for that AP, he's out of range. He would have to spend all his time closing. So if Craze doesn't work, it's not going to cost me anything.
It feels disappointing that only the nearby statue can be knocked over.
Like
Yes.
Not the one that they're using for cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's in a very intentional design, because on this map I feel like there's a pod where they activate it like almost
Oh yeah.
every time.
I mean, these aren't randomly generated in that way.
Yeah. So if they gave you a collapsible statue, like where they scramble to take cover, it would be a little too easy.
Yeah, but it'd be fun.
It would be. However, this is not Bulletstorm.
Waiting for targets. Unleash me.
Do you remember Bulletstorm?
Position
vaguely.
secured, Commander.
It was the Xbox 360 era, like, FPS that was just... What if everything was incredibly stylish and you were
Yeah.
graded on how stylish it was to unlock upgrades?
Oh, hey, craze
Oh.
worked.
Yeah. Remember how I said they can attack twice? It's actually really good.
See them fall, brothers.
Or I guess dangerous if that
Here's a
wasn't,
good spot.
you know, hitting them.
Overwatch.
Listening.
Oh, one of them did end up running up to you.
Yeah. You can kind of predict that, like, real easy, especially these guys who only have melee, is that they've
What
got
is your
3
will?
AP. You know, AP1 is close 5 squares, the next AP is close 5 squares, and the next AP is either melee if they're adjacent or close 5 squares.
Firing now.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that he chose that spot instead of like directly adjacent.
What is your will?
Oh,
Probably in order to make space for potentially other people
Yes,
getting into
Commander.
melee.
either that or it was just actually short, the distance from pathing around things or something.
Yes, Commander. I am here to serve. I have sanctified my rounds.
I faintly remember I was trying to do something here. Something about this guy's particular interrupt, or
Your
Overwatch,
command.
I wanted to work around.
Well,
This is the problem
you
with-
were clearly trying to get melee kills for the,
Oh, yes, that's it. Yes, probably. I don't remember.
Standing ready.
but he
Opening
is
fire.
just in exactly the wrong position for you to be able to melee either of those guys without triggering the Overwatch.
Ah, yes, that was it. I needed to reload and position the interceptor to get covering fire, or support fire.
Down. Your orders?
I may have run out of AP. No, we got this.
I was expecting a shoulder check to finish him off.
Purge complete. Give me a target.
From what? The Vindicare? I don't think the
Yeah.
Vindicare has a shoulder check.
Oh,
I think he just pistols people in the
None
face.
escape my mark.
I mean, that's also perfectly effective.
Yeah. So, as is my usual delicate foreshadowing here, as you've made mention that, you know, it was easy to get some melee kills, etc. Guess what I forgot while I was actually playing this?
You forgot to get your melee kills.
I forgot what the glorious deed was.
Moving
I
out.
have said many times in the videos and in the thread that I'm not great at keeping absolutely everything in mind. I tend to try to like stick to, I don't know, a formula or a template or just like a standard operating procedure. And maybe I don't keep everything in mind from abilities or slight class differences or if I sub somebody in or what the glorious deed of the day is. So it's just sometimes a thing with me.
At once.
I forget.
I was waiting for that to be a pod activation. when
I think that was
camera
my
shifted
intent,
over.
in fact.
Well,
is
it,
that I
it didn't
wanted
look
to-
like any of the pods he knew about were in there.
I was just the one straight in front of these guys, which I thought were closer to the stairs than I might have activated on that door kick.
I mean, it seemed to me like they were too far away to do that, but
Yeah.
thought maybe somehow there was another pod in there that you hadn't seen. You don't see the leaping from one piece of cover to another all that often.
Unleash me.
This is some good Assassin's Creed style drive-by-wire. That was when like the original Assassin's Creed came out. People complained that Ezio didn't, not Ezio. I don't remember. Altair.
Yeah.
Didn't like control like really slippery. Didn't feel like you were really telling him what to do, such as offering suggestions, and it felt like you were playing a video game like drive-by-wire. And
Awaiting directions.
I remember somebody at Ubisoft who worked on the game said that's exactly like the point. It was supposed to represent that you aren't really controlling this person in the animals. I just thought it was interesting. They really wanted to do all the animations, and if you let players control, sharply, you don't get to do that. Things look wrong. But it didn't develop a whole lot of technology where it's like, use the environment to determine what animations you're going to use.
Position.
I always remember that as kind of, I thought there's a conceit to make it so that you didn't just randomly launch yourself off into space. It was just that there were jump points and land points, and you would smoothly transition from one to the other, and I thought that was a strength of it rather than a fault.
Yeah, but like when you're hopping across rooftops, ultimately, like really likes to. Oof. Everybody silenced.
Silence!
Really likes to step on like individual points and hop between them, rather than a player might take a larger jump and avoid all that intermediate stuff.
Maybe. So here's our bellboys of the day. 6 armor is pretty formidable. We've just received the toxin? Whatever. The bell attack,
It's toxin,
which is annoying.
but it's spelled without an X, which I guess makes it less extreme.
It's also immune to psychic abilities. He's got a plasma gun, and he can disrupt. And he's just kind of a jerk. Like he's a pretty solid dude, and he also makes everybody else take a lot more to stun. Worried about the melter guy.
It's weird that a melter gun only does 5 damage when a regular bolter does 4.
Well, it does armor break.
Well, yeah.
I mean, tabletop meltas don't do additional wounds, do they?
Well, no, but melta guns in the tabletop are high enough strength that they usually instant kill regular people that they hit.
That's right. There's a rule something more than double the strength of the target.
Yeah.
I feel like giving the AI insta-kill melta-guns might be a bit much.
I mean, in the JRPG Power Hour, we just encountered regular enemies with instant kill attacks, so...
Yeah, but that's just everything in a JRPG, isn't it?
I mean, sort of.
What JRPG doesn't have an insta-kill, like, random encounter?
Unleash me.
I don't think Octopath did.
I never played Octopath, but it did look like a cool game. So hey, side effect of that bell attack is that it silenced everybody on our side as well. So for 2 turns, I have no ability to spend willpower. No teleport, no wave the flag. Actually, no battlefield medicine from the apothecary, because apparently medicine requires psychic powers.
Yeah, you're doing psychic healing.
Unleash me. Destroy.
It's weird, because it almost seemed that you could still side or force strike.
Force strike? No.
Slaughtered. Give me a target.
I guess silence disables the abilities, and I don't know, Cybolt, force strike count differently? I hadn't noticed that while I was playing.
No. I think I've mentioned this before, but Grey Knights using force weapons, like every Grey Knight is a psyker with a force weapon.
Yeah.
That means that anytime they inflict a wound, they could just instant kill a target.
Like, that's a tabletop rule or something?
Yeah, that's what force weapons do. You make a psychic test, you instant kill the target that you wounded.
Ooh, okay.
Which is why the Grey Knights are good at killing demons and shit.
Because they have lots of wounds.
Must
and
reload.
force weapons just go through that.
Yeah, and just
okay.
delete them.
Speaking of deleting things, was it devastation shot, whatever? The assassination shot from the Vindicare absolutely deletes Chaos Warriors.
Oh yeah,
It's great. Bellboy's down. Don't have to deal with it.
I almost feel like this is a counter Overwatch scenario. Because you can't teleport behind him.
I can't teleport at all.
You can't get around him.
Right. You know what I can do, though?
Oh, get another stupid bell ringer.
Yeah, I can make my situation worse. There's always the
mouse
option to make
cursor.
things worse. Yeah, just very angry. Like, this is how I express my anger in recording.
At least until you start your career as a VTuber. Your avatar being a sentient bottle of root beer.
No, I think honestly, if it was particularly easy. Oh, he does get shot. Ow. And then Bell. Wow, that's just rude. If I was gonna do the VTuber thing, I'm honestly a little bit tempted. It would just be my Jade angry Mario Power Star icon. It would just be that with like varying levels of angry eyebrows.
I mean, I'm sure there's ways to make that work.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be that hard. I have very low requirements for how much I would want that to be animated.
Right, VTubers aside, for anybody watching, this is a bad activation.
Yes, very bad. It's mitigated somewhat by the fact that the first pod was 2/3 dead. So
Yeah,
that's
but
alright.
but the activation happened when Jade had people out of cover, Jade had people exposed from the direction of the activation.
Oh yeah.
No remaining AP do anything to like move into cover or, you know,
My wrath
take
is restored,
shots at that
brother.
pod.
Yeah.
Storm.
Although the interceptor is now not silenced because it got stalled.
Yes.
So yay.
Sources of Purge. Real good.
Down.
Finding better ground.
I love that focus.
So great getting free AP back.
What is your will?
I think having him wave the flag would still
My wrath is
trigger all that shit.
restored, brother.
Yeah, I think my plan here is to honor the chapter of the Interceptor to secure the kill in the
At your
backfield.
service.
Because I don't want to leave that guy around.
Alright, you can just... Now that you can use your abilities.
Yeah.
Oh no, the chapter's immune to autos.
Yeah. Most
And you can
abilities
just
that aren't
charge out
attacks.
of Overwatch, although I'm not entirely sure why you'd want to. If you've got nothing better to do with him, I guess you could just move to better cover that way.
Bow down.
Commander.
Yeah. The unfortunate problem is that I can't, like, charge towards those two Marines. You can't, like, charge down a ledge.
Yeah, that's just jumping off a cliff.
Call that a cliff.
I mean, it's a little cliff.
Yeah.
It's tall enough that an ordinary person would hurt themselves if they fell, maybe.
Like, fell uncontrolled or, like, jumped?
Uncontrolled.
Yeah, okay.
I will mutilate.
I mean, it's
Uh,
like 8 or 9 feet.
Yeah.
Onto ice and snow.
So here's the thing about those Bell guys, is that there isn't a good precision target hit on them to remove what makes them so annoying. Removing the plasma pistol does make them less deadly, sure. Now they're just gonna run up there and club you with their smaller bell. But they still provide all of the benefits of, like, they're immune to being psionic attacked, they add mental resistance or stun resistance to everybody else on the field, and they can still do the bell attack.
The annoying AoE bell attack that silences everybody.
Yeah. Now, he's in a position where he's, like, flanking me, so getting rid of his plasma pistol is great, because it means he's not shooting somebody in the side for 5 damage. But it doesn't really stop him a whole lot from just being the nuisance that he is. I think I'm calculating whether just running through it is worth it or not, because shooting him doesn't do a whole lot.
I don't think meleeing him does a whole lot either.
No. I mean, might be able to get a kill or something. But then there's the Plague Marine right there, just who would just shoot me for 4. I'd be out in the open.
Advancing.
I guess I could have just kept the shield. Look at the range on that. Look how spread out they are, and he's still got both of them.
Yeah, that's like a radius 4 or 5. It's utterly huge.
Yeah.
Also, pretty sure your Vindicator is 2 HP?
Yeah, he's not got a lot.
He's gonna be in the hospital for a while.
Yeah. There wasn't really a whole lot I could do to mitigate all that. I mean, the activation that got him plasma shot in the back was bad. But the other half of that has just been psychic bell damage.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's psychic bell damage that you couldn't really do anything about because you had
Yeah.
bad activation.
Well,
If you'd done the activation 1 turn later, you would have been in a much better position to
Yeah.
take that. Oh, I guess you can't force
Can't
strike
force
because
strike.
I saw
Yeah,
that
you saw it
the
gray
damage
out.
go down.
yeah.
Han. Ready to kill.
Oh, I know what I'm thinking. And yeah, I'm checking the crit chance, 40.
I mean, Disrupt Shot is right there.
Sure, but that doesn't... that disables crit chance. And I was just looking to take his arm off.
I was gonna say, wouldn't
however-
Disrupt Shot, like, get rid of his Overwatch?
Fire.
It would have, yes. Really what I should have done, though.
Clear shot.
Here it is. Well, here I'm getting the crit on the second 40%.
I mean, yeah.
But also, if I really wanted to secure that, I should use the Spy Mask crit boost thing. Also, he was dead with support fire, so
Yeah.
either solution worked.
Is your will?
It's a good thing you got an Apothecary to heal everybody up after all this damage you took.
Yeah, imagine
Really,
going out
really
here without an
sucked
apothecary.
not have the Apothecary on this mission.
Yeah. Guess a stray bolter shot could kill my Vindicator.
The hell, Stray Bolter. The stupid
Bell.
bell would kill you through cover.
Yeah.
Yes, Commander.
Again, it's been a while since I actually played this out, so like that Vindicator shooting the guy Overwatch guy. You're right, Disrupt Shot would have immediately taken him off the cone.
But, I mean, you killed
But
him, so
2 shots
disregard.
plus... Yeah, 2 shots plus the support fire was a kill. So maybe I had calculated that out ahead of time, and I've just forgotten.
Dog. I was waiting for that.
Bow down.
For strike. Well, actually, he meleeed and he tried to move away.
Yeah,
The parry was just great.
yeah.
He had 2 choices.
I mean, he
Both
could
of them
have
were
attacked
bad.
the interceptor and actually landed the hit. I'm not entirely sure how the AI makes its decision in that case.
Your orders?
Maybe it was just 50-50. So it's...
Awaiting directions.
There is a
Moving.
strategy or approach to Chaos Gate that is weirdly reminiscent of the last spell, which is it's very much better to focus on being able to kill a thing dead on your turn than worry about like dealing with incoming damage the next turn. Like
Yes, Commander.
in the last spell, you can make fighter characters and tanky things, and it's a game against essentially zombies holding out, and you're holding out a fort. So you can make fighters that can go up and get armor and get melee abilities and everything, but really the best defense is just to end your turn out of movement range of anything that can hurt you. And the great swords kind of work, I guess, against that, but the same kind of idea applies. Like with the great sword, like
Your command.
you're probably
What is
better
your will?
off not making a build where it's like, I'm going to use the greatsword's parry because I intend to be taking hits. However, especially since we haven't gotten a lot of extra master-crafted weapons, like
Unleash me.
a 50% chance just to negate a hit like that is still just pretty cool.
And later on, you can,
I am here
I'm not
to
going to say
serve.
easily, but you can intentionally push that to 100%.
Right.
At which
Better
point,
swords, focus crystals.
Threat
Yeah.
eliminated.
I mean, the tier 3 focus crystal is 50% more focus. Anybody can use that and get 100% parry. And if you know that an enemy standing next to you only has a single melee attack, they just can't hurt you. It's like
Yeah.
being out of range. Just have to remember how many uses you get.
Right. Better swords, or master-crafted swords, sometimes you can get multiple parries.
Usually you don't want to put yourself in a situation where multiple melee attacks are coming out
As
at you.
requested.
Yeah, sometimes it just kind of happens, especially with like the lesser enemies, like the poxwalkers, or when they groan and summon a whole bunch of little guys or whatever. But being able to say like, oh, okay, there's 2 melee enemies that each can attack once a turn. I've got a guy with a great sword and 2 parry attempts at like, I don't know, whatever you feel is an acceptable parry rate, 75 plus or whatever, and you can just be like, all right, I don't have to worry about these guys. I can focus my efforts on other enemies that either shoot or have psyker abilities or whatever, and just rely on my Justicar parrying to occupy them for a turn. It's pretty great. And the better, not the better, the additional great thing about like a Justicar parrying successfully is that you now have an enemy that is adjacent to your melee guy. He doesn't have to spend AP closing the distance or anything. You just get full attacks on those guys that failed to hurt you the
Your
previous turn.
orders? Yes, Commander. Yes, Commander.
Now, I still agree that just killing them is usually the better option.
Yeah, and anybody who likes this game will probably like the last spell as well. Which is cheap. Oh, this is the new guy, the
Yeah. The light tracker thingy.
three-legged bug robot.
Foe sighted.
So it has a frag missile launcher that it doesn't actually use directly. It uses it to destroy cover, or use the cover shot. And it has the multi-melta. I think it has
That's
a delayed attack where it puts down like 3 targets on the ground and then a turn later will salvo it with missiles, but so that's really easy to avoid.
Yeah, there's the multi.
This charge shot, yeah. So the frag missile launcher doesn't actually directly attack like regular attackers, like bolters or whatever do.
No, it works like the winged things from XCOM 2. The pinions.
Yes. Just check.
I am
It's
an
a little bit
instrument of vengeance.
gooey, so I figured maybe it was biological, but no, it counts as mechanical. Not that Deadshot is ready. So
I mean,
he
it's
is
still probably worth shooting off the multi-melta.
bad news. The disable weapon shot gets rid of the frag launcher.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Your command.
I mean, the frag launcher is kind of annoying in the same way that hand grenades are annoying. Because, you know, forcing you to spend AP to move or do something.
Oh, and well, he either has cover shot. Like, I stacked up against the door, and on the reveal, he just exploded it. So now nobody's in cover, and they're kicked back a few tiles. So that's costing me, like, an AP off of everyone to get back into place. But then, yeah, the frag artillery usually isn't
Vindicator at your
bad.
disposal.
Unleash me.
Gotta double check. How much does this do? 5. Okay. Remember last time it was 4. And a regular shot leaves this guy at 5, so you gotta be careful with your math.
Slaughtered.
Even if you don't give them silencers, you gotta take 4 interceptors on one mission. Just being able to do that 3 more times. 30 more damage. Plus, I really would like to know, I feel like Chaos
How the
Gate
game handles.
is very good about overkill.
Oh, right.
It will be done.
Yeah, I assume it would be sequential. If at all. Also, hey, this is just me having fun and being silly and not efficient.
It was 1 AP and 1 willpower to kill an enemy. That sounds pretty efficient to me.
Yeah. I mean, it probably was. Remember that whole thing about killing enemies with melee weapons?
Oh, that doesn't count as a melee weapon?
That did not count as a melee kill.
Oh, I don't see 3 enemies left on the board.
Yeah. Hey, I remembered Order of Operations, though. The Apothecary has armor crack.
That's assuming that you're not going to kill it this turn. Which, I guess, you don't
Well,
have any...
armor break applies before the damage of the strike.
Oh, that's true. Effectively, that's what that's the way it should be.
The Emperor's chosen.
Yes.
Oh, dog.
That was probably 2 damage.
It was small enough that it's
Give me
hard
the
to tell
target.
seeing the bar move.
Right. We get it to the point where these knights have about 18-20 health on average. So that, you know, that was a 10% hit.
I'm not going to look at how much is left on the
As
video.
requested.
You said that you already forgot. But it'd be really funny if you realized and went searching for another pod.
There is not another pod on the map.
Aw, rip.
Yeah.
It's like you lost 4 requisition doing that.
Oh yeah, there's the penalty for failing it too, and you don't just fail, you lose. Need to remember to
What is your will? At once.
steal this man's seeds. Oh right, he's the last one, so I'm making sure everybody's in a position where I want them to be before I steal this. Because you remember what happens when you steal the last seed?
Yeah, they start opening up portals.
Yeah.
Hold your ground until the Dominus can teleport you from the surface.
I mean,
I've claimed the
technically you
seed.
could get more melee kills.
Yeah.
You dog. Try to make me believe like you failed. What are you gonna do with that
Have been
last hit?
judged.
Teleport forward and get ready for the next reinforcement portal.
Yeah, at this point, you're not convincing me that you aren't going to squeeze 1 more melee kill out at the 11th hour.
Yeah. No, I absolutely have. I was just amused that you might have forgotten that, like, there's only, you know, 1 enemy left and I needed 2 melee kills. Well, you know, reinforcements happen.
Your orders?
I forgot that reinforcements happen on seed carrier missions.
Yeah.
On the
I
hunt.
really hope they'd come forward. They did not. Although I could also, again, screw this up by just charging one of them off the cliff.
I mean, I feel like what's going to happen is you're going to end turn here, and then on your next turn, right before being teleported out, you're going to Gate of Infinity up to them.
Standing ready.
And use that to absolutely 100% secure a melee kill.
You know, that's a good point. I absolutely forgot my stratagems this map, didn't I? Which certainly could have been useful when I had that bad activation.
I don't know that the stratagems that you have would have helped all that much besides, like, you know, a couple AP always helps. Gate of Infinity is maybe could have gotten you out of a bad situation, but you'd already taken the damage.
Yeah.
It's not like pushing forward and killing one end of it was going to be...
Yes, Commander.
Almost off the cliff.
Almost off the cliff.
I strike true.
Which, you know, I think when I was playing was actually my intent.
Yes, Commander.
I don't remember exactly when I remembered that I had to get melee kills.
Precision target locked in.
This doesn't really matter. I'm not going to stun him. I'm not going to let him live long enough to fire his plasma gun. And the armor pierce doesn't matter, because if I'm going to go melee him, somebody has to get through that point of armor.
I do like how they definitely baked in crit damage as not something that you had to specifically, like, choose. Because in a lot of cases, like, oh, you could disable the enemy, or you could just get more crit damage and kill them maybe in one fewer action.
Right.
Would be an obviously, like, superior choice.
Right. There are some precision targeting hits, like we've seen on the plants and things, where
yeah,
you can just get even more damage out of it.
Or death.
Yeah.
Well, you've definitely realized at this point you need at least one melee kill.
Yeah.
Enemy down.
Oh no, I think I just realized. That's probably why the cursor went up there. It was like, oh yeah, that was a thing I needed to do.
Sanctified and purged. As you will.
It's a good thing you brought the interceptor.
Yeah.
At your service.
I'm just waiting to see, like, 45 days in the med bay for the Vindicare.
Unleash.
Oh yeah, at least. You could say he got his bell rung.
Initiating sequence.
You're going back to the freezer, aren't you?
I gotta stick around to see exactly how long he has to spend in there. So you've got the upgraded armory access. You're more consistently getting tier 2 stuff.
Yeah.
Tier 2 focus crystal.
Yup.
Tier 1 bolter is really hard to...
Yeah. It has really good crit chance and crit damage, and its Cybolt trades guaranteed damage for even more crit chance, and it also has less range. You
Oh,
could
the 8
make
range
use
on it?
for- Yeah. You could,
Like, Interceptor could use it just fine, but...
Yeah. But interceptors don't really care about the stats on the Stormbolter other than ammo capacity.
Yeah.
Again,
Just a-
like high crit rate Falchion, but it trades the guaranteed damage of a Force Strike for more crit chance.
Which, honestly, is fine.
As long as you have Ruthless Precision.
Well, I mean, if you have Ruthless Precision, but you're losing 1 guaranteed damage off the Force Strike. In exchange, you're getting 40% crit
Yeah.
on top of the, like, 30% that it gets from the other upgrades. You could very nearly get 100% crit, especially backed with other war gear.
Yeah.
Ooh, grenade armor.
Grenade armor. Yeah, it would be great. Maybe.
Like, as much as I'd say, you know, spend all of your requisition upgrading so you can get, you know, towards the tier 5 gear. Realistically, like, you have to buy some upgrades at some point.
I do.
Well, the other nice thing about Conviction is that it's a 5 damage sword.
Yeah, good point. I might have overlooked
You don't
that.
take
I don't
any of
know.
that stuff.
Like, I am just hard set on getting the armory access maxed out before I start purchasing things. I don't know if that's really necessary or not. It's just, I guess, my mindset, my giant robotic crab syndrome. Oh, I do remember this. I am unsure what to do with my apothecaries. As we discussed kind of in the class builds, there's... Once you've gotten this much, and you've gotten your heal upgraded, and you've got your skull pockets, there are a lot of things you can do. And I was starting to think, I'm going to try to figure out which apothecaries to go which way, and maybe make 3 different builds, and just kind of try to figure out what I like.
Tidy.
So I'm not assigning those points right now.
Oh, what an interceptor. It's fate.
Look at
Except
this
he
stat.
starts with Blade Master.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck
like
this guy.
I forgot about this.
I just
think
I was looking over on the right side and saw, wait a minute, silencer?
I mean, it's a great regular trait for him. Like, Blade Master is great for interceptors. It's not devoted practitioner, but it's great. And he, and I think I'm gonna go look at the other guys and decide, do I want to bother retraining him because he has Blade Master, or do I really just not want to hassle for 5% crit rate over the other interceptors that I don't have to retrain and, have good enough intrinsic abilities?
That's the thing, since you don't have to spend bodies to retrain anymore, it's just, 2 and some time?
Yeah.
It's almost like hiring another one, except you already have the trait that you want.
Yeah.
And this way you're guaranteed to have the skills that you want.
True.
Boss.
I don't think we talked about retraining in any of the class videos, but...
Oh, we didn't. I mean, but it's there. It's spend requisition and refund all your skill points and just rebuild your knight how you like.
It's like, Devorn here has fast recovery is not great.
No.
But he has all the skills that you want.
Yeah. I'd rather have Blade Master, but I'd also rather maybe not spend the time and the requisition retraining interceptor recruit guy, whose name I've already forgotten.
And plus, you'd have to level him up.
Yeah.
Tidies.
And really, a 5% crit rate is nice. It's not overwhelmingly necessary or overpowered. It's...
You don't have to farm out looking for, a specific ideal trait.
Yeah. It is nice getting Great Destiny or Devoted Practitioner. But, you don't have to fish too hard. Just... It's fine. Make do with the guys you get.
This is the problem with Ruthless Precision on the Apothecaries. Narthesiums are bad melee weapons. What else are you going to spend those points on?
Yeah. Biomancy, Emperor's Light...
For more in-depth, look at the video.
You're right, thank you.
We discussed this in somewhat more detail, but not too much more detail, because the video is only an hour long.
No, I think we kept it down to 33 minutes.
Yeah.
God, the first one we did when stuff came out was an hour long. It was terrible. I mean, it was good information because people were just, oh god, IGN, their terrible fucking article about it. Anyway, so that's where we're at. We're gonna go get the other star, and then once the whole team is healthy, and if maybe there's not more bloom, maybe if there is, I got to get to that craft world. So that's not gonna be next time, but very soon we got to get to that craft world. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.
That's the sound of me entering the freezer.